That belongs in a museum.
Chose to go ahead and conceal that he had it. And now, as you said, it is very capable of protecting that damaged Flame Imp, and Power Overwhelming in Dr. Hippie's hand could be used to go through it, but it feels like a really bad use of Power Overwhelming, even getting the Nerubian off that egg.
Yeah, the board looking kind of right now as if it wasn't that heavily in Pokrovac's favor, but he just has the perfect play here with that Imp Gang boss. I wouldn't blame him for going for Knife Juggler Squire too much, but it's just turn 3 Imp Gang boss. It's very hard to pass up. It looks like he has other plans. He's going to go for the Juggler.
Yeah, this is interesting stuff. So, yeah, I was going to say, I guess he's going to commit the Imp Gang boss, commit the Flame Imp into the Imp Gang boss first, just to increase his chance of good juggles. Now the Creeper being popped has a chance of doing some very good things here. He'll just be hoping and praying that that egg does not get popped. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary there.
Ooh, this is really risky now.
Go.
And he hits the egg.
So that play looks a little bit greedy to me, but you guys want to walk us through why he went with that line as opposed to just putting the Voidwalker
Before
in the
we
end?
get into that, Sea Giant drawn this turn is a really big deal. But going back to that play, the Nerubian egg against a Zoo deck is going to get value at some point anyway. So oftentimes, you know, the correct thing to do in the Zoo mirror can be just to clear the egg entirely. Just give them the 4/4 and then trade into it efficiently. So the 0/2 body on the board still has a ton of value to a Zoo player. And if you give them the chance to trade with it in their sense, then it can often be more beneficial for them. So I don't think he was too worried, because we have this situation now where there's one 4/4 on the board, but this is the situation I described earlier where he's so wide that that 4/4 isn't really a big deal interacting with him.
I kind of don't personally like taking that chance there to pop that egg. I do understand that trying to get those juggles for free, getting multiple free knives, so to say, seems something that you might want to do, but it's just it really did not work out for him, at least in this particular instance.
Right, gonna go ahead and get those juggles off the Haunted Creeper and the Nerubian egg, and we do see one go into the Nerubian, which is fairly advantageous for him. Gonna be able to use some trades to get rid of it. He'll leave the 8/8 on the board.
Here, 6 mana, low tap, abusive. I can't imagine him going for anything else.
Right, what actually saves Pokrovac on the next draw? I think it's pretty much just Defender of Argus.
Yeah, I think Defender of Argus is just about it. He can use his entire turn on Power Overwhelming here, which will let him, you know, trade into the 8/8 and the 2/1 here and take those off the board. But he's going to tap for Argus here, make the play to win. Direwolf Alpha will come down. And does this still give him enough power? Yeah, this gives him enough power to still trade off the Sea Giant, but does not reduce the damage on board heavily enough.
You can trade off the other minions and play the Voidwalker to hold back the Sea Giant. There's a lot of draws for Dr. Hippie here.
So Pokrovac does have a very full board to Dr. Hippie's Soul 8/8, and the taunt's not going to do it, though, as we see Leroy Jenkins come out from Dr. Hippie, and he is going to go up 2-0 in this series.
Yeah, that turn 3 decision from Pokrovac to go for the juggles instead of the Imp Gang boss is certainly something for the sidebar to potentially analyze. It was a...
He can just hero power the Voidwalker down. So death over 3 turns, or 2 turns rather, to this Voidwalker.
Yeah, I didn't think about the innervate. It's something that it didn't seem all that valuable in this instance, but it does. It does seem like a card that doesn't add much more value going on further.
And this is just going to be game. Dr. Hippie has the Force of Nature. He has the Pyro Power, and Dr. Hippie is going to complete the sweep on one of the favorites of this tournament. The Savage Roar just for style, doesn't even need it. Pokrovac concedes, and this is going to be the end of his run through this Winter Championship.
Yeah, he must be hugely disappointed having had such a successful run through day 1 and 2 to fall at the first hurdle now on day 3. But still, I think he's achieved something here. He's come out, he's made a name for himself.